Time is now 5:30. The date is June 16th, 2026. We will call to order the meeting of the mayor and city council for the city of Statesboro, Georgia. We will have our invocation and pledge of allegiance by council member John Riggs.
I'd like to ask Alan Moultrie if you give the invocation, please.
Thank you. Let's bow.
You know we want to hear that beautiful baritone.
Heavenly Father, we are here in a heart of gratitude and thankfulness, Lord, even as this is an election day. Lord, we're grateful that we have the opportunity to do that when we know many places don't. And Lord, we're grateful that we live in a republic that has a foundation of God, Lord. May we be good stewards of that responsibility, not just in our election, but in our lives, Lord. May we remember our fellow person, Lord, that we can support and encourage one another. Lord, I pray that your hand will be upon each and every one of our elected officials. They're a gift to us, Lord, and that you will give them and endow them with wisdom. We thank you for our city manager and department heads, Lord, that you help run this city, Lord, and it is also a gift to us, and we're grateful. Lord, we thank you for this evening and ask you to bless it all in Jesus' name. Amen.
Pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. We'll move down to agenda item 3, recognition of cohort 3 of the Emerging Leaders Academy. Mr. Penny.
Well, Mayor, members of the council, we had our third cohort, but I want to see a few of our folks here. But we're going to recognize who's here. We did have recognition last week. And so I'm going to call on Demetrius and he can talk about and introduce Jacob. And Kane.
Evening, Mayor and Council. So, as Mr. Penny mentioned, recently we completed the third cohort of the Emerging Leaders Academy. This program is designed to highlight our high potential employees and provide additional training and skills so that they can represent us at higher levels in our organization. Last week, we had our recognition ceremony and we recognized 15 different employees across this organization. Several aren't able to make it due to other commitments, and some actually are working, serving the people. But we will recognize those that are in the room. Let's see, we'll start with Kane Smith, City Attorney in Legal Affairs, and Jacoby Thibodeau, Human Resources Generalist in the Human Resources Department. Jacoby, stand. Let's give them a hand. So we're excited to continue the legacy of learning in our organization. We believe that we should be a learning organization. We should challenge our employees to learn. And so we are excited for cohort 3, and we look forward to cohort 4 in the new year. Thank you for your support. Thank Mr. Penny and the administration as well as the department heads for their support. So thank you all.
And get a picture with the folks that are.
Yes, if you will.
Council.
Then we got a picture on the recognition.
Good job, team.
What's up, Jacob?
Oh, yeah.
Thanks, Dave. You want to sit right here? Right here.
Okay. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. That's good. Thank you.
Congratulations.
All right, we're going on to agenda item 4, public comments. Leah, any public comments in regards to the agenda?
No, Mr. Mayor.
All right, thank you. We're moving on to agenda item 5, consideration of a motion to approve the consent agenda. The consent agenda consists of the minutes from our June the 2nd council minutes. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor? All right, we're moving on to agenda item 6, which is a public hearing and consideration of a motion to approve application RZ 26-05-02, Georgia Southern University Foundation Incorporated requested zoning map amendment for property on the south side of Tillman Road between Fair Road and South Main Street from exempt to mixed use district. The zoning map amendment request is for one parcel of 13.505 acres and is proposed for multi-use commercial development. Is there a motion to open the public hearing?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All right, Justin, if you will you give us some insight on this?
Thank you, Mayor, as a member of the council. This is a very interesting project, actually. It's a rarity that we see things going from exempt to any of our zoning districts with the university. So it's a bit of a first for us.
What exactly does that mean?
When stuff becomes exempt, it never comes back. So, but this is a great opportunity for this corner, Mr. Mayor. They are looking to do a multi-phase project actually here. It's a very interesting project, so I'll go ahead and talk about it a little bit. So you'll notice here, this is kind of the location of beautiful Eagle Creek in the practice fields. So this is in that center point between Fair and South Main Street, right across Tillman. You'll note that that is in the university district. So the way our comprehensive plan spells out the university district is that really it's a free-for-all as long as it's related to the university. So that's kind of how we have to guide in terms of this. And you'll see the exempt, pretty much everything to the south of that will still remain exempt, but this portion will be in MX moving forward. So the multi-phase plan as shown, so if you look, the portions that are actually a little bit deeper in color are going to be that phase 1. Lane, can you zoom into that center phase, please? So that'll actually consist of a boutique hotel, a central plaza brewery, and a number of other retail developments. The additional phases will consist of some student housing and additional office space, as well as some shared parking decks, which is also unusual for us here in the city of Statesboro. So if you look at the photos, you'll note beautiful Eagle Creek from both directions towards Fair Road as well as towards South Main Street. You'll also note the CVS on the opposite side of the street along with the Verizon and some of the other businesses located going towards Nats Landing. And then you'll also see on the South Main side the Wendy's as well as the Zaxby's. So it's going to end that really tight corridor. There's some definite traffic things to figure out for this property, but I think we have a ways to go before we get there. Staff does recommend approval of this project, of this zoning. We do have a concurrency from our planning commission with 3 conditions. So the first condition is pretty standard. It's the approval of the zoning map amendment does not allow construction. All of that must go through normal processes in terms of it. This was a fairly important point, is that a traffic study must be submitted and approved prior to the issuance of a land disturbance permit. Because of the amount of traffic that we receive on Tillman Road, we feel that that is an extremely vital element to this project. So we don't want to blade of grass, so to speak, to move until we have that in hand. And the third portion is actually in reference really to how we dealt with the MX zoning district. We've had some issues with the setbacks associated with it. But as you'll note in the plan, and I'll go back to it in a moment, the majority of the project actually does fall really within that 25-foot maximum setback area generally, but the hotel itself doesn't. So that third condition is really due to the proposed building makeup, the phasing plan, and that road configuration. The maximum setback can be designated as where the hotel is standing. There may be some changes to the project, but overall we believe that we have a really good plan here, and that most of it will meet all of the requirements of that index zoning district. And just another show of that concept plan. I'll be glad to answer any questions, and the representative for that project is here this evening.
All right, thank you, Justin.
Yes, sir.
All right. Is there anyone here to speak for this request?
Yes, Mr. Mayor, Council, I'm Steve Rush, I'm an attorney here in town. I've been before you many times before, but I can't think of a project that's perhaps more exciting than bringing this one tonight. I am representing the applicant, which is the Georgia Southern University Foundation Incorporated. They're a nonprofit Georgia corporation that supports Georgia Southern University. Its principals are present here tonight, Tripp Addison and Craig Brown, raise your hand, in the Georgia Southern blue. And also present with us tonight is Matthew Shingler. He's Associate VP of Facilities at the university, and John Stevenson, Associate VP for Business Engagement at the university, all on the back row. As usual, Justin stole most of my thunder. Thank you, Justin, but he did a great job of it. And he made a very good point. I doubt you have seen before now an application that brings you a conversion from exempt zoning to another zone, MX in our case that we're seeking. With an annexation, as you know, that generally comes in under a residential or low intensity, and then we have to change it if we want to do something. Here, as far as I know, there's not an automatic zoning, so the foundation has already acquired this property from the Board of Regents of the University System of Georgia. And Justin's right, the reason you don't see it much is they don't dispose of their land. Once they get it, they might lease it to you, maybe, but they usually don't. In this case, they were so excited about this project, they actually have deeded this 13.5 acres to our foundation. So that's why we're here, but with an exempt zoning, there's not much we can do with it. But with an MX, we can do a lot. As you can see in our proposed site plan, right now we're kind of focused on phase one. That's what we would start with, and that is our hotel and conference center. You see a lot of the other universities with this kind of facility. University of Georgia, Georgia Tech has a similar facility. We want Georgia Southern and Statesboro to have one.
That's right.
And so our engineers have developed this. Now our future phases shown to the right and left of the center phases, they're kind of proposed. We've got some residential that we are contemplating to mainly address our graduate students and others associated with the university, visiting the university, but still working on that, and we'll be, trying to firm that up in the future months. No jurisdictional wetlands on the property, but there are some floodplains. We've got beautiful Eagle Creek. That's our southern border, thanks to Ert Russell naming that. Now it is maybe not so beautiful yet, but it will be. It's going to be a focus of our project. Just though to let you know, most of College Plaza across the street and all those buildings and businesses are in a floodplain. So it's something that is not untypical, and we will be working with that. Initially, you'll see we have proposed 4 accesses, 2 onto Tillman Road, 2 onto Fair Road. But Justin's right, we've already initiated that traffic study because it's important not only to the city, but also to us as to what this will entail. So we have no problem with that condition or the other 2 for that matter. The standards that govern you for a rezone, or in this case, a new zone, are addressed very well by Justin and the city staff. I won't beleaguer that part of the project, but the first one, the principal first standard is that it's compatible. Well, along Fair Road, all of that is already in MX zone. College Plaza and the businesses south of that. Across to the north, the drugstore, CVS, I think it is, and the Verizon. So all that is already in MX zone. So we're just really kind of extending that onto our project. If you go a little further down Tillman Road, it converts as you get to South Main to some HOC. The 2 restaurants there are in HOC. So we think we fit right in with all that that's already there. Again, the other standards I think are very well addressed in the report that you received, and they all seem to support our application. Yeah, that's pretty much it. If we can answer some questions for you, we'd be happy to do so. But on behalf of the foundation, we would ask that you grant our application for an MX zone and allow us to proceed with our project.
Thank you so much. Is there anyone here to speak against this request? All right, seeing that there is none, is there a motion to close the hearing?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All right, we want to open this up for council discussion. Is there any discussion by council? All right, seeing that there
Oh,
is.
but I do have one question. How about traffic? Are we ready for this? I know we got a lot coming up on Bear Road.
That's my question, yes, please. It's not against, it's just a yes, please.
I'll be driving by this every day. So I'll be waiting to go through it.
We don't require a traffic study.
The traffic impact analysis is real important. Mayor, can I just say, one thing for the university as well, one of the things we talked about, I know, was the development authority. Because of this property and the impact, and I would say positive impact to the community, we also think that it might be critical, but not a part of the requirement, that we look at master planning that area, because and it's not if, when this develops, it's going to impact the other side of the road, and it's going to, in a positive way. And so that is something that the city should be a part of and will be a part of. And honestly, Creek on the Blue Mile, all of this stuff, it would really tie, it would tie the downtown and the Creek on the Blue Mile all together. And it would have a tremendous impact on our community.
Yeah, and it's ironic that it comes today. So, yeah. Any further discussion by council? Okay, is there a motion to approve with staff conditions?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All right. Thank you. We really appreciate you guys.
Mr. Mayor, council, if we can be excused, that's all we have for you.
Yeah, absolutely. Go ahead.
We're gonna get started.
All right. There you go. Jackson, let's get them a show, man.
You can do it.
We're going to agenda item 7, which is public hearing, consideration of a motion to approve application 526-05-04. Virginia Wilson requests a variance from UDC section 2.5.5-C, table R15, accessory uses and structures, to allow a decrease of the sidewalk setback from 20 feet to 6 feet to allow the installation of a carport at 12 West Kennedy Street. Is there a motion to open the public hearing?
So moved.
Is there a second? All those in favor?
Aye.
All right, Justin.
Thank you again, Mayor and Council. So this variance is actually a fairly simple one. This is an interesting situation because of the way our ordinance is spelled out. It requires, when you have a double frontage corner lot, that you adhere to the front yard setback for both corners. Even though the orientation of the house might not necessarily make it look nice.
Yeah.
So based on this, the request is actually to install a carport on the side of the house, and it's already serving as a driveway for the applicant.
Okay.
So it really makes sense in this matter, but I will show you a bit of it. So if you look here, you'll see that that double frontage is just it's a weird spot. You'll see here the established residential area is associated with it. So it's actually in the downtown district, but it touches that residential. So you'll see the similarity in all of the construction in this area. They're all single family houses for the most part. Here you'll see the zoning, which is at R15, which is really outside of the R40, one of our larger lot sizes within the UDC. And it has the highest setbacks in regards to that as well. So you'll see the actual house on both of these photos. So you'll see it from that corner. And then you'll see where the actual, on your left, where the carport will be installed. So we've been to the site, and the installation of the carport with those setbacks won't cause any issues with site distance. That was the initial concern, but it will not cause any problems in that manner. And then you'll see just the surrounding neighborhoods here's on South College. So there's just really just residential lots here. Staff does recommend approval of this particular item, but we only do have one condition, and that's just approval of the variance does not grant the right to build the accessory structure building without appropriate permitting. The planning commission concurrently agreed with that. I'll be glad to answer any questions, and the applicant is present this evening.
Thank you, Justin. Is there anyone here to speak for this request?
I can speak for it. Mr. Mayor and Council, my name is Jason McCoy. I'm Virginia Russell son-in-law. Essentially, we're just looking to create a carport structure that would allow her protection from the weather, getting in and out of her vehicle to move into the home as her mobility is becoming impaired. We want her to be able to get out of her car and not get drenched in the constant, rapidly changing weather. It is essentially just going to be a pole barn type structure, not just a metal shed.
Okay.
And the roofing on it will match the home, so on and so forth. So it would be a nice looking structure, and it won't impact the sight lines along the road, the stop signs in the corner.
All right, good deal, thank you. All right, is there anyone here to speak against this request? All right, seeing that there is none, is there a motion to close the hearing?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All right, we want to open up the council discussion. Any council discussion? All right, seeing that there is none, is there a motion to approve with staff conditions?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All right, we move down to agenda item 8. Okay. We move down to agenda item 8, public hearing and consideration of a motion to approve an application for alcohol license in accordance with the City of Statesboro Alcohol Ordinance Section 6-13A. It's for Tokyo, owner Lingdong Zhu, location 100 Brampton Avenue, Suite 1A, license type restaurant. Is there a motion to open the public hearing?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All right. Is there anyone here to speak for this request? Anyone here to speak against this request? All right. Is there a motion to close the hearing?
So moved. Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All right, any discussion by council? Seeing that there is none, is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All right, we move down to agenda item number 9, public hearing, consideration of a motion to approve resolution 2026-25, a resolution exempting certain vehicles from marking requirement for 1 year. Is there a motion to open the public hearing?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All right, is there anyone here to speak for this request? Anyone here to speak against this request? Seeing that there is none, is there a motion to close the hearing?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All right, we want to open it up for council discussion. Any discussion by council? All right, seeing that there is none, is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor? All right, we move down to agenda item 10, which is consideration of a motion to approve resolution 2026-26, a resolution authorizing the FY 2026 budget allocation for the Statesboro Bullock County Land Bank Authority funded by ARPA interest. Mr. King.
Mayor, members of the council, earlier at the work session, we had a presentation by Mr. Justin Williams, Director of Planning and Development. The Land Bank Authority has been reconstituted in the last 4 years. And they've been meeting and now there are opportunities to be able to put together properties that can be redeveloped in our community. However, in order to be able to put properties together, you have to have some funding. And so since this development would be inside the city limits, the Land Bank Authority is requesting funding from the city in the amount of $70,000, and we're going to be able to get that from interest that come from ARPA funds, which were federal funds And so we do recommend to you that you approve the funding for the Land Bank Authority so they can begin doing some good work for the city of Statesboro.
Thank you, Mr. Queen. Any discussion by council? Seeing that there is none, is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All right, move down to agenda item 11, consideration of a motion to approve resolution 2026-27, a resolution to adopt the third amendment to the fiscal year 2026 budget for each fund of the city of Statesboro, Georgia, appropriating the amounts shown in each budget as expenditures and expenses, adopting the several items of revenue anticipations, and prohibiting expenditures or expenses from exceeding the actual funding appropriated. Mr. Penny.
Mayor, members of the council, as you stated, annually, we have to, periodically, we have to do budget amendments to make sure that we in compliance with the law. And in this case, if you look at the document, we've had a number of increases in revenues for different divisions, and so we want to recognize that revenue. And in another case, we also have an expenditure, especially in the insurance fund. And so we need to appropriate funds for that as well. But in this case, at least in all of it, but in the general fund, we're to the positive with the revenue side. And so we want to recommend an approval of this budget amendment. But if we need more detail, we can do that. But it's a normal process of just making sure that we're in compliance with our budget.
All right, thank you, Mr. Penny. Any discussion by council? All right, seeing that there is none, is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All right, we're gonna go down to agenda item 12, consideration of a motion to approve resolution 2026-28, a resolution to adopt the fiscal year 2027 budget for each fund of the city of Statesboro, Georgia, appropriating the amounts shown in each budget as expenditures and expenses, adopting the several items of revenue anticipations and prohibiting expenditures or expenses from exceeding the actual funding available for appropriations. Mr. Penny.
Mayor, members of the council, we've had budget work sessions. We had a public hearing the last time we did a presentation, so tonight we're not going to do the presentation. This is a requirement of state law that we have a budget in place effective July 1st. And so your action tonight, if you approve this budget, would ensure that we're in compliance with the law. This budget that has been prepared, it is as I told you the last time, it's really a maintenance budget. There are no new personnel in the budget. The biggest issue in the budget was the funding for the fire department with the loss of $2.7 million from the fire district. We had to work really hard to come up to present a balanced budget and not have tremendous impact on the citizens and our employees. And so we do recommend this budget to you for adoption. Really, we were blessed this year. We were blessed to the fact that, and I can't tell you that when FLOSS first came out, I wasn't sure about it. But I thank God it did come out because, and so we've been very fortunate with FLOSS that we'll get about $1.4 million for fiscal FY 2027 because we were not expecting that until fiscal 2028. And so we're getting 1.4 this year, which helps minimize how much we need to get from our citizens. But then in FY 2028, we should be able to wipe out whatever increase in millage rate we need by having the full amount of FLOSS coming in, which should be about $3.5 million. So in that case, I think some people say that the Lord takes care of babies and fools, and so I'm no baby. But I'm very appreciative of Him taking care of us with FLOSS and our citizens doing it as well. So we do recommend approval of the budget, Mayor.
All right, thank you, Mr. Penny. Any discussion by council? All right, seeing that there is none, is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All right, we move on to agenda item 13, which is consideration of a motion to approve resolution 2026-29, a resolution adopting statewide schedule of rates, fees, and fines for FY 2027.
Mayor, members of the council, this is an annual and a normal process where we adopt any changes to our fees and charges schedule, and this is more procedural. There are no changes in our fees and charges schedule, but we do recommend approval by you.
All right, thank you, Mr. Penny. Any discussion by council? Seeing that there is none, is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All right, we're going to agenda item 14, which is consideration of a motion to approve resolution 2026-30, a resolution adopting the Bullock County Solid Waste Management Plan. Mr. Penny.
We are required to adopt this plan. And so, we received it from Bullock County, and we do recommend approval by the city council. We recommend it to you.
All right, thank you, Mr. Penny. Any discussion by council? All right, seeing that there is none, is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All right, we move on to agenda item 15, consideration of a motion to approve resolution 2026-31, a resolution of the mayor and council of the city of Statesboro to waive the requirements of chapter 6 and allow processing of an alcohol application for 600 Fair Road. Mr. Penny.
Kane, I should defer to Kane.
Mayor and council, local ordinance requires 100 yards of separation between all premises consumption licenses and college campuses. This subject property is within 100 yards of the Georgia Southern campus. It is the old Sonota Sea Island across from those practice fields and the food line area, the food hall area there. So under state law, local governments control proximity for on premises consumption. And proximity waivers are available for restaurants, pubs, and low volume establishments, but they're not available for bars. So this would require a resolution in order to move forward with processing of that application for a bar at 600 Fair Road. And we do recommend approval.
All right, thank you, Kane. Any discussion from council? Seeing that there is none, is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All right, we'll move down to agenda item 16. We good? All right, move down to agenda item 16, consideration of a motion to authorize the mayor to execute a contract for services with the Statesboro Arts Council Incorporated to market downtown Statesboro by operating and managing the Avery Center for the Arts using proceeds from the hotel motel tax. Mr. Penny.
Mayor, this is an annual process. We have to enter into this agreement, and you have two more that follow it in order to be able to distribute the hotel motel tax. And so we do recommend approval.
All right, thank you, Mr. Penny. Any discussion from council?
Mr. Mayor, yes, so, it's basically the same breakdown it's been in recent years, and the extra 5% is what the city gets just for handling it. Just confirming. So the AVERT is 25% of it, and the DSBA is 19%, and then the Visitors and Convention Bureau is 50%. Thank you. They all do a good job for us.
They do. They do. All right. Is there any further discussion? All right, seeing that there's none, is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right, let's move down to agenda item 17, consideration of a motion to authorize the mayor to execute a contract for services with the Downtown Statesboro Development Authority, Main Street to market downtown Statesboro using proceeds from the hotel motel tax. Mr. Bennett.
Same
further-
explanation.
All right, seeing that there is none, is there any discussion by council? Seeing that there is none, is there a motion to approve?
So moved. Second.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All right, we move on to agenda item 18, consideration of a motion to authorize the mayor to execute a contract for services with the Statesboro Convention and Visitors Bureau Incorporated to market Statesboro and Bullock County using proceeds from the hotel motel tax. Seeing that there's no further discussion, from our city manager, is there a motion to approve?
So,
Second.
Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Mr. Mayor, I'd just like to thank the Visitors and Convention Bureau and DSDA for being here tonight in case there were questions.
Thank y'all, we appreciate y'all, y'all know we love you. So we're gonna go down to agenda item 19, which is consideration of a motion to approve a $12,000 change order with Mid Georgia Property Enhancements LLC for additional work on STM-46 Mattel Trail and Little Locks Creek Stream Restoration Project funded by an EPD 319H grant. Mr. Penny.
Yeah, Mayor, members of the council, it's a $12,000 change order, which we recommend to you. And I really can't say anything else. If you have a question, I got staff here that can answer, but we do recommend approval.
All right, any discussion by council? All right, seeing that there is none, is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Is there a second? All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
All right, let's move on to agenda item 20. Consideration of a motion to approve a contract with EMC Engineering Services Incorporated in the amount of $915,420 for design of Memorial Park to be funded by INOCDIC grant funds and 2025 SPLOST funds. Mr. Penny.
Mayor, members of the council, during the work session, we talked about, gave you an update on the Creek on the Blue Mile project. And we have a grant that came from the state to us. And those grant funds are really ARPA funds. And so with it being ARPA funds, there's a requirement that those funds be not committed, they have to be spent by, we're gonna say the end of the year, but we're looking at October 31. And we were gonna use the funds for furnishings. However, because the Creek on the Blue Mile project has not progressed and we've been delayed because of some of the other funding that has come in, we went back to the funders and I think Brad explained it during the work session. We were thinking about buying the furniture fixtures and furnishings and storing them, but they said that was not acceptable. But what they did say was acceptable was that we could change the use of the funds. They would allow us to change the use of the funds. So in this case, we didn't have any design funds for the Memorial Park redesign. And so what we're recommending to you tonight is the approval of a contract with EMC for the design of the Memorial Park. And that will help us get those funds expended to comply with the ARPA requirements. And so we may end up losing, so I won't be on record, we may end up losing some of the 1.5, but we're still 1.6, we're still thinking and trying to be creative to find a way to expend those funds. But right now, we know that we can encumber and spend that $915,420 for design services through EMC. And so we do recommend approval tonight.
All right, thank you, Mr. Penny. Any discussion by council? All right, seeing that there is none, is there a motion to approve? Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All right, we'll move down to agenda item 21, which is consideration of a motion to approve a $7,151 change order with Underground Excavating Incorporated for additional work on ENG-138 Fire Station 3 Access Road funded by T-SPLOST. Mr. Penny.
Mayor, members of the council, I don't know if you've been by the fire station lately, but it's looking great. And part of the work, we're putting in a new road and a cul-de-sac that will come around behind the fire station. But part of what we need is, as we're putting the road in, we need to put the underground infrastructure. And there's a fire hydrant that was not on our plan when the contractor bid the job. So they've agreed to a change order to put in the piping for the fire hydrant. And that comes to that $7,000 number. And in fact, the work's probably already done, but we need your approval of the change order. So we do recommend approval.
All right, thank you, Mr. Penny. All right, any discussion by council? All right, seeing that there is none, is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All right, we move on to agenda item 22, consideration of a motion to renew the master services agreement with Atlas Technical Consultants LLC through June 30th, 2027 to provide capital improvement program management services and construction engineering and inspection services for FY 2027 in a not to exceed amount of $664,923 funded by T-SPLOST, SPLOST, and Stormwater funds. Mr. King.
Mayor, members of the council, about in 2024, we brought this type of contract to you, so we get engineering services, design services, inspection services. And so, we are coming back for the third renewal of this contract with Atlas, and that is what this is for. If we don't have this in place, and I think I can speak very confidently for Brad and staff, it would be very difficult to get the work done, the design done, the street projects done, and inspections done. And so it may seem like a large number, but I will also tell you the T-SPLOST funds and those SPLOST funds are big, but we need this professional service from Atlas to make sure we can get the work done. So therefore, we do recommend approval of this contract.
All right, thank you, Mr. Penny. All right, any discussion by council? Seeing that there is none, is there a motion to approve?
So moved. Second.
All right, is a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
All right, we move on to agenda item 23, public comments. Any public comments? All right, seeing that there is none, is there any other business in the city council?
Yes, Mr. Mayor. I want to share publicly that I've had a lot of people ask about the art park. It's wonderful and beautiful sculptures and such, but it's so hot in the summertime. So I've had conversations with the original engineer who designed the art park for us, Wesley Parker, and he has agreed to submit a new design for adding some trees and benches. So I'd like to make a motion that we ask staff to investigate how we can fund that, how we can do it. I think we have already determined it's within our rights as the leaseholders with the railroad that will allow us to plant trees. So I'd like to make a motion that we ask staff to investigate how we can make that happen.
Is that the one problem? Can we just tell y'all to do it, or do we need to tell y'all to do that?
Sorry?
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, it's fine.
Yeah.
What Ms. Barr is saying, we're gonna bring it back to you anyway, so I think it's okay, Mayor.
Okay. Do we need to take a vote?
We'll bring it back on that.
Okay. All right.
And to Ms. Barr's point, what we'll do, it's in the minutes that you're asking us to do that.
Okay.
What we'll do is we'll investigate it and we'll also look at a preliminary, some type of concept.
Yeah.
And we'll bring that back and we'll schedule that in the work session that we'll share with you.
So I wanted to give credit. Wesley Parker, the original designer, engineer, is already working on a concept for us, because there's been conversations about it, so they'll get with staff and,
So is he doing that pro bono or?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
yes. And actually, some young people, a 4-H group who are really into trees, are working with him, and he's supervising it.
Okay.
So it's an exciting project for all of us and for the young people involved.
Okay.
I have a couple of other things I'd like to share, please. The Juneteenth, as we know, is coming up this weekend, and so there's going to be a celebration at 6 o'clock Friday night up at Willow Hill, and then Honey Bowen from 4 to 9 on Saturday, local Juneteenth celebrations. And I'm sure you're going to remind us about Chief Broadhead and showing up to say thank you to him next Tuesday. Also, just want to call attention to the visibility vans. These were introduced and promoted during Bike Week, but it wasn't just for Bike Week. We have these ongoing. If you don't have yours yet, stop at City Hall or the police department. They're free. You wear them or put them on your bike. If for pedestrians, bikers, anybody who's traveling near traffic, it'll keep you safer because it makes you more visible. It's reflective at night. It's bright colored and easy to see in the daytime. So stop downstairs at the City Hall or go by the police department or ask me. I'll be glad to get you some.
Thank you. All right. Anything else from city council? All right, seeing that there's none, we move down to city manager comments.
Mayor, members of council, thank you, Ms. Barr. We will have a recognition, reception for, Chief Broadhead on June the 23rd, from 2 to 4 o'clock p.m. at the municipal, building, court building. And so we invite everyone, and Chief is somewhere sitting around. He really didn't want anything. He just wanted to go away. And we told him he couldn't do that. So we just asked everybody to come out and appreciate Chief Mike and his 9 years with the city of Statesboro, but about 40 years of law enforcement service throughout the country. So we do appreciate him. Mayor, I just wanted to also just call to your attention that in your FYI, that there was a smoke alarm blitz memo. And on May 30th, our fire department installed 62 smoke alarms in 33 homes. And so we appreciate that's an annual thing that might happen a couple of times during the year, but we just wanted to call that out. I do want to get on the record. I informed y'all at a work session before, I think, about the GFA and the GFA loan. And we had to respond to GFA, and in your packet is a letter under my signature that went to GFA. And basically for the Creek on the Blue Mile, we had $15.5 million line of credit. And the time had expired, so we asked them to extend that time. And the GFA commissioner would not approve extending that any further. However, what they did do for us, and this was really critical, is that $15.5 million line of credit that was provided to us was at 2.25% interest. And we didn't want to lose that interest rate at 2.25 because you can't find that right now. So what in writing, what they agreed to is we have until 2030 to apply for those funds, and at 2.25% for 30 years. And so that should be enough time to get the project designed, meet all the requirements for all those other grant funds, and then apply for those funds and have them available to help make the Creek on the Blue Mile happen. But I wanted to make sure that that was in our record, that the council knows it and the public knows it. And we do have the letter, my letter and the letter from the commissioner that's in our packet, and we just want to make sure that's noted in the minutes. Last thing, I'll just mention, at the next week, we're going to have, 25th is going to be our last concert for the season, Papa Soul, 7 o'clock. We had a good turnout last week for the TAMs, and so we want to invite everybody to come out for the last one. And Olivia and her team has done an outstanding job, and we appreciate all that.
Thank you, Mr. King. All right, we'll move down to agenda item 26, consideration of a motion to enter into executive session to discuss personnel matters in accordance with OCGA 50-14-3B. Is there a motion to enter executive session? Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All right.
I'm going to the restroom.